Nice to meet you.
But you are called Ergo Phizmiz. What does it mean? Or
Yeah, it was a name that kind of came out of the blue maybe when I was like 20, so like 21 years ago.
uh,
Um, it was at a point where it was like kind of the first job that I had, and somebody was insisting that I wasn't credited for the work that I did, and nor did they pay me, though they said they would. So I did something that I've not done since, which is copyright work, and insist that they gave me all the credits. And I just thought of the kind of stupidest name I could think of at the time, and very quickly it became my identity. I don't really feel like a musician. I feel more like a kind of media artist who, you know, often uses music. I'm interested in the kind of possible interactions of the various media, and then also it's kind of, you know, the interaction of historical objects and the kind of context and connotations of uh, of these objects. My work is kind of best kind of expressed in this context of being kind of opera, because it's the place where all the various elements of what I do kind of come together perhaps most coherently. There's always been to some extent, a political angle, even though that's not always directly obvious. But
uh,
I kind of feel quite violently anti-music industry and anti-copyright law, because I don't think that copyright law enables this kind of idea of the taking of material and the modification of material, and the idea of imitation and then transformation. And fundamentally, I think that mechanism is the mechanism by which kind of cultures move forward. And at the very beginning of the internet, and when the Creative Commons thing was first beginning to happen, it did feel like we were kind of looking forward to this kind of world of kind of sharing information. And I kind of saw the internet as being this place that would be like a vast interactive encyclopedia of things that are constantly in conversation with one another. But instead, it's become a series of shops.
you made an album with Vicky Bennett, Recyclopedia.
Oh, we made.
How was working with her? Sorry.
Working with Vicky. Well, we worked together on and off for a very, very long time. I think we made 2 albums together. We made a DVD. We made a podcast series which was about the making of our second album. We there are similarities and crossovers between our work. Our practice is quite different. But back in kind of 2005, 2006, we started to really work together. And we've never ever worked together in a room. Worked together entirely remotely, just passing files to one another in the days of slower internet as well. For me, it was most interesting because Vicky comes from much more from a kind of visual art and film collage background, and originally I came from a kind of sort of technical composition backgrounds. I tend to work within the grid and within the concert.
Yeah.
And Vicky works in a different way, more in a kind of film kind of way, kind of outside of the sequencer and not measuring things in terms of bars, and you get these kind of unexpected interactions. And kind of unexpected rhythmic and melodic and chordal stuff, and it kind of the collaboration with Vicky in the very early days, just through the process of it, kind of led me really in this direction of trying to, most of the time, or kind of ideally to me, make music that is not what I would think of.
But your fiance or your wife is also involved in some of your activities.
Oh yeah, for the last 5 years, we work on pretty much everything together. Lottie is a kind of fierce intelligence, and yeah, and is in the room. Yeah.
In November, you have the great Thanks People for Like Us event.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 30-year party.
Would be nice to join to come.
Yes, yes. I think that will be a great night, because Irene Moon is playing, the singing entomologist, who, again, I worked with about 20 or more years ago, but haven't met. And Gwilly Edmondes is playing, who is an amazing performer. He makes entire concerts of pop music that are entirely improvised, but are like impeccable pop songs that he's making on the top of his head with his machines.
You also know Peter Vangler, of course.
Yeah, I love Peter.
It's also,
in fact, it was him that because since 2010 I've been making these operas, and it's directly because of him.
Yeah.
Because the first time I met him in 2007, he asked, how I started doing what I did and things. And I told him that when I was a teenager, I'd made written all these operas just on paper, and but that when my parents had moved house, they'd thrown them out. And then a few years later, he asked if I could, put on anything of the stuff I wrote when I was a teenager, and I was like, well, not really, because I can't remember it, but I will make you a new one. So he's entirely responsible for making opera and theatre, really.
Spirits move me every time I'm near you, whirling like a cyclone in my body.